What's up, everybody? Thanks for stopping by. Today I want to talk about Zelda Tears of the Kingdom and how much I have just enjoyed this game. Just absolutely loving every moment of it. I think it came out at a perfect time. Like, I've played and beat all these other games this year that are completely different than this experience. I've had my fun with, Resident Evil 4 and Jedi Survivor and Dead Space and, Hogwarts Legacy. These are all really, really good games, and I really enjoyed these games. But Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is something special. It is a remarkable game through and through. I want to talk about just kind of my thoughts on the game and really just the experience that I've had so far. I've put about 20 hours or so, I would say, give or take. And, I haven't been able to put it down. Like, ever since I got it, I have just been completely obsessed with this game. And when I'm not playing it, I can't wait to jump back in. It's one of those games that, the moment you're playing it, you're just sucked in. And when you're not, you're thinking about it, you can't wait to jump back in. It's one of those games. Now, I loved Breath of the Wild. I think Breath of the Wild was just such an amazing experience. And I know, some people didn't enjoy that or whatever it was, but I think Breath of the Wild really introduced a lot of cool things and ideas, and Tears of the Kingdom does Breath of the Wild better. I would say there's a lot of things here that make your life easier and respects your time a little bit more in terms of, weapon breaking and stuff like that. The combat is the same, but the combat is fun. I enjoy the combat. I think one of my only gripes is probably the challenge some of the enemies possess. Like, they can one-hit kill you if you're not careful, and I think sometimes that's kind of a I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it, because I do like a challenging games. I do like when a game is challenging. But I don't know if Zelda is the game that I want to go to for a challenge. Like, I come to Zelda to relax and explore and just get away. Like, that's the perfect way I can describe this game. If you want to get away from problems, if you want to get away from the world, you turn this game on, you get lost in it, and it's amazing. So, the combat. Yes, the enemies can be challenging. Some enemies are easier than others, and then some, they can do a lot of damage to you. Some can completely one-hit kill you or take most of your hearts. So you're constantly going to have to jump into the menu and, pick something that you've crafted or cooked and eat it and heal. So I find myself doing that a lot. Now, obviously, when you get more hearts, you are going to be able to take on, more of a challenge and live longer. But I remember for the first, 10 hours or so, I saw the you're dead screen a lot. It didn't bother me. I just knew I had to prepare a little bit better. I had to be more careful. So this game is not really like a walk in the park, especially in the beginning areas. One thing that I will note is that I do also like this aspect because it does encourage you to try different things, use a different approach. And that's what's amazing about this game, is it offers all of these different options, and you have so much freedom at your disposal to pretty much take any situation in any way you want. It's there. The amount of crafting, the amount of cooking, the amount of ways you can tackle a situation. You got your bow, you got your weapons, you have items that you can throw or you can attach to your bow. You can attach some of these items to your weapon to make it do more damage or durability wise, or so on and so forth. I really like the bow in this game a lot more than Breath of the Wild, because you can attach things to your arrows. You can fuse different type of items to your arrows, like fire and explosion, or ice. I remember it was a little bit different in Breath of the Wild. Here you can fuse things to your arrows. You can fuse things to your weapons. So the weapon degrading is a lot more tolerable in this one, because you're able to find weapons and you're able to make them better, last longer because of fusing. And I think that was kind of the devs' way of kind of finding that middle ground of people complaining about weapons breaking and not wanting to take it out of the game. I personally don't care about weapon breaking. I actually enjoyed it in Breath of the Wild. I liked it. I never complained about it, because it forced me to use different weapons. It forced me to adapt to any situation and have a diversity of options that I could, get my hands on, as opposed to like using a sword the whole game. That would be boring. So I like the weapons breaking, bows breaking, shields breaking. I like all that stuff, because it forces you to use different things. And your character is never going to look the same for a long period of time, because your weapons are always changing, your shields are always changing. Sometimes you have to change your outfit because it's cold and you need cold resistance. I love that, by the way. That makes a return. This is pretty much Breath of the Wild, but with added things, a lot more added things, and I would say a lot more detail. Every NPC is interactable. Like, you can talk to every NPC. They will give you like a side quest, or they'll tell you something that's neat, or sometimes it's just like a hey, how's it going, and you're off. But you can interact with every NPC, and I really, really like that. It really adds more to the world. It's not like dress up. Like, these people feel like they're alive, and you can interact with them. And a lot of them just have simple or challenging side quests they give you, and they're always fun to like complete. They're always rewarding, whether they give you money or an item. I started off in the world, and I went northwest, and I finished the storm area first, and I just kind of randomly chose that area. Like, I just stumbled upon things, and I just made my way to the northwest region of the map. And then I've been backtracking a lot, and I've been going to like other areas, but I am just taking my time, slow and steady, and just really intaking the experience. The northeast region is like the snow area, so you have to have cold resistance. And I remember I did the whole mission, which is like the story mission for the storm area, which took hours, by the way, to do. And it was just absolutely amazing. But I remember I didn't have the clothes to stay warm, so I had to constantly create I had to constantly cook items that would give me the cold resistance, so I could keep going and going without getting hurt by the frost, the cold. I had to keep finding items to cook, to stay warm. And I really love that about the game. There's just this thing about the game where it can be so simple, but also it has so much layers of depth. Like, the physics in this game is absolutely stunning and really, really fun to play with. The sandbox that this game offers, the amount of things that you can do in this game, the amount of freedom at your disposal is just ridiculous. Like sometimes the weather changes and it's raining and you can't climb when it's raining, you slip. Sometimes there's like a thunderstorm, and that thunderstorm, that the lightning shoots into the ground, and it's like a really cool scene. And sometimes, it lights up a fire in a grassy field, and that whole area has fire now, and then now it's causing like a what do you call that, like the smoke rises, and you can kind of jump on that, take your glider, and it'll lift you up, like an updraft, I think it's called. Like, just the physics in this game is so crazy, and it's so cool to really just be in this world and see the things that you can do. Sometimes things are happening completely randomly, and you're like, whoa, that's that's cool. I just think the exploration factor in this game is probably one of the best like ever made, and I don't say that lightly. Like the exploring in this game is so much fun. You're not going to go too long without seeing something, whether it's an enemy or a cave or an NPC to talk to, or whatever it is. There's always something going on. I really like that there is also the stamina. Now the stamina bar, or circle if you will, the way you upgrade that is by doing shrines. So every shrine gives you an essence once you complete it. Every 4 essence gives you the option where when you go to the little statue and pray, you can choose a heart or more stamina. So pretty much what I did was I upgraded the stamina for a full circle, so I can just pretty much climb longer, I could run longer, and I can glide longer. And obviously the moment you do any of these things, your stamina bar is going to decrease. So you have to really be mindful of like, okay, my stamina bar is going to be really low here. I should probably, like, if I'm falling from the sky, right, and I've been gliding for a while, like, and my stamina bar is turning red, like, it's probably a good time right now to free fall until I'm close to the ground, and then, pull my paraglider at the very last second, so I catch myself. Otherwise, like, you don't want to like lose stamina while you're in the air because you're gonna fall, right? There's things like that. You don't want to lose stamina when you're climbing because you're gonna fall. You want to time things correctly. Like if you're climbing, you want to time it where you might see the cliff. There's an area where you can stand and you can like regain your stamina, and then you can keep climbing. Like there's these little things that have this challenge, and like it creates this window of like, okay, I have to think about what I need to do or how to do it here in terms of stamina, and I like that a lot. So stamina does play a pretty big role in this game, and it's really cool. This game has so many simple things, but it has so many like layers of depth on top of it, and it's really like the physics and the detail and the things that are just happening in this world, and your character, and the way everything kind of just works together. It's really, really impressive. And it's even more impressive that this game is running on a Switch, because although I think this game is beautiful, and I do think it's beautiful, and I'm going to be completely honest here, like when I tell you that this game can be very beautiful, it can be beautiful, man. But there are also times where you can see the hardware limitations. You can see the limitations of the Switch when you're looking off to a distance, when you're in certain areas of the game can look a little, outdated and jaded and blurry, and these are all the things that are revealed when you are playing on this Nintendo Switch, old hardware. You know, the performance drops a lot. The visuals are, you know, they're not like super great. It's really the art style. It's really the art style that carries it. Like the graphics are passable, and I think the art style and, you know, the like the visuals look good, but imagine what this would look like if the Nintendo Switch was running on more of a powerful hardware. That the performance would be better, the visuals would be better, right? I'm not like, this game doesn't need to be the next best thing in graphics. Like, it doesn't have to be, because it already looks good. But I do wish that the Nintendo Switch had like a Pro, or like this was the new a new Nintendo game, because this game deserves it. Like, this game absolutely deserves everything. For this game to be running on Nintendo Switch is almost like you're doing a disservice to this game, because this game is such a phenomenal experience that it's almost being hindered by the lack of power the Nintendo Switch has. Does that make sense? Like, I hope that makes sense. The game is absolutely amazing. It's not like I stop and say, man, I wish I was playing on a more powerful, you know, Switch or a Nintendo console. I'm not doing that, because the game is so good at locking me in and immersing me in this experience. I don't think about those things. But like, when I'm done playing, or when I see pictures or videos, I do, you know, wonder what this game would look like had it been running on something more powerful, right? Because when I'm playing the game, dude, I'm having a blast with it. And I'm not like, I don't have the time to think about all of this stuff. I'm just enjoying the moment. I'm enjoying the experience, and in those moments, I'm just completely like, I'm in it, man. I'm in the game. I'm completely hooked, and it's like, when you take a step back, then you start to realize and think about, okay, this game this game could do better, and it deserves better for what it offers. That's kind of the best way I can describe it. I'm kind of fumbling here with words, but this game is absolutely breathtaking. It's amazing. It's so good. But had it been running on like a more powerful Nintendo console, it would probably look better. It would probably perform better. And I think it deserves that, because this game is masterpiece level of video gaming. I just love this game so much, man. And I can't stress enough that therapeutic, relaxing feeling that I get from exploring the world, hearing the music in the background, finding something new. Like, it's just those moments of, you know, this tranquility that this game offers, man. And it's just like, it's so crazy. It's so crazy that it reminds me why I love Breath of the Wild. But like, I remember enjoying Breath of the Wild so much, but I don't remember like enjoying it this much. Like this, like Tears of the Kingdom has completely elevated that you know, that feeling of maybe what Breath of the Wild was trying to do. Even though I think Breath of the Wild was an amazing game, like Tears of the Kingdom just does things better, offers more. And that's kind of my take on that. But yeah, like, this game is just so much fun. It really depends on what kind of game you're looking for. This might not be the game for you in the moment, right? you might be looking for a different experience, but that is the experience that this game offers. It's like, it's chill, it's therapeutic, it's calm. You're going to be exploring, finding things, talking to people, discovering new things. There's the story. There's, unlocking different abilities from the storyline. There's different regions in the world. There's like the winter, and then there's like the desert, and like the forest. There's all these things, and the physics all playing a huge role. And like the combat and all of these things, just the package here is just such an impressive game that I really hope everybody gets their hands on at one point, and just lose yourself in this game. You might understand what I'm saying here, right? If you haven't played this game already, you're probably already playing it and enjoying yourself. But yeah, this game is one of a kind, and it's really hard to see games like this nowadays. Like, you just don't get this type of game. I feel like it's rare. And, don't get me wrong, this year has been amazing. This year has been nothing but... I've played, some amazing games this year. Resident Evil 4 Remake, absolutely amazing. Like masterpiece level. Jedi Survivor, absolutely love that game. Took everything that it did from the first one and just completely did everything better. I just beat that game and I reviewed it. I love that game so much. Dead Space, Hogwarts Legacy, Metroid Prime came out this year. There's so many good things. Octopath Traveler 2. I've gotten my hands on so many games this year, and I can honestly say that none of them have given me this level of joy. And that's really hard for me to say that, because Resident Evil 4, I beat that game 5 times, and listen, man, Resident Evil 4, it's fucking badass. I'm a Resident Evil guy. I love Resident Evil 4. And I can sit here with honesty and tell you, I don't think it even comes close, man. I don't think it even comes close to Tears of the Kingdom. But that's my opinion, right? If you like Resident Evil more than Zelda, that's you could totally do that, man. It's preference. But I just feel like I am a kid again when I'm playing this game. I feel the joy of being a kid and being wowed and seeing something off in the distance or doing something that I haven't seen yet in the game, and I'm like, oh my god, I could do that, or that happened. Or when you complete a shrine, which are the dungeons, and you complete it, and sometimes you will complete a shrine half-assed or janky. Sometimes you need to put things together and it's not perfect, and you're well, that's my masterpiece, and it works, and that was not supposed to happen, but you still pull it off and you still complete the dungeon, and you're that just tells you the flexibility of this game. There's so much flexibility for you to create something janky and still make it work, where you're able to get through the dungeon. There's so many things like that. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to create anything perfect. And it's just there's so many little moments in this game that put a smile on my face. One of the beginning areas of the game, you unlock the ability to kind of shoot up through a tower, and it'll throw you up in the sky. And I remember just smiling ear to ear when that happened, because I was just that's crazy, that's so cool. And I went back and I did it over and over again, and I was I can't believe I can do this over and over again. I love that they put this in the game. It's not a one and done. No, you can go up there, shoot yourself up in the sky. You can look at the world from that view. You can scan, you can pin things, you can dive down. You can pull your glider out. You can kind of hover down. And yeah, like we have games where you can like free fall from the sky, sure, but when you add like all the things that Zelda does and then you add that, it just unlocks this whole different level of freedom and exploration that you couldn't do in Breath of the Wild. I loved the glider in Breath of the Wild because it was just so much fun to use. And now you can literally use your glider, but you can also like free fall, dive. You can find these things that are falling from the sky, from the sky islands, so from the top of the game, and you learn this ability to rewind things. So you can rewind this rock that's falling from the sky and you can jump on it and it'll take you back from where it was falling. Like, dude, stuff like that is just so cool. It opens this whole window of options at your disposal. And that's just like, I've barely scratched the surface in the things that you can do in this game. Because I don't want to, there's so many things I want to talk about, but I don't want to talk about because I don't want to go into spoilers. Like, I want people to experience that on their own. I haven't used like any guides for this game. I'm completely like, I've gone completely like dark and blind. Like, everything that I've done in the game has been completely on my own, discovered on my own. And that is like a wonderful feeling, is being able to just, you don't know what's around the next corner or, you know, on top of that hill. You don't know what's waiting for you in that cave. Like, you don't know what's going to happen like 20 seconds ahead of every time you play this game. Like, you don't know what's going to happen 20 seconds, you know, ahead. Like, there's always something going on. You're constantly discovering something. You're constantly picking items up. Those items can improve your character, can improve, you know, whether it's items that you craft, that you cook, that you attach to your weapons. There's just so much dynamic in this game that is just so much fun. Like, the sandbox in this game is just so much fun to be in. I just can't remember the last time that I was just sucked in this hard. And again, it does go back to like, maybe you might be in a, maybe you need to be in the right mood for this game. Maybe you need to be, you know, I guess into this type of game. Maybe it's not for you. Like, maybe you just want to pick up Call of Duty and shoot other people, and that's, you know, that's what you're trying to gain from a game. That's the satisfaction that you're running after, right? There's a level of satisfaction in Tears of the Kingdom that is just so hard to find. It is so rare. And that is just awesome. It's a breath of fresh air in this convoluted gaming space where, you know, a lot of these games release half-baked, undercooked, monetized, all of this stuff, right? This game is amazing. It's got me hooked. And I'm probably easily going to sink like hundreds of hours into this game. Because I've put like 20 hours now, but I know... I know, like, there's just so much to do. There's so much to see. One last thing I want to talk about is just kind of like the cute aesthetic of the game. Like, there's this aesthetic to the game. Like, even Link with his hair and his, like, outfits and just the, you know, the way he moves and the way he interacts with people. He's just, like, such a cute little character. And the world is cute and adorable. Like, the game is just a beautiful place to be in. Everything, like, even like even the enemy design, it like has this cute kind of aesthetic to them. The way they run after you, the way they like when they spot you, and that's, you know, that's Nintendo's Nintendo's like, you know, playful, I guess, approach to the younger audience, because it's, you know, it's a platform primarily for, you know, kids and stuff like that. So people argue about the look of Zelda Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, but I argue that it looks perfect. Like the art style and the design of everything just completely complements the game and what it's trying to achieve. Like, I couldn't ask for a better looking game in terms of like the design approach. It has that cell shaded anime, almost, if you will, look to the characters and the world, and it just fits really well here. It doesn't have to be this, you know, graphically hungry, you know, looking game. Like, it is perfect the way it is. I just wish that it was running on more powerful hardware, and I wish that the performance was, you know, a lock 60, right? I think that those two things would benefit this game greatly. But like I said, the experience, my overall experience has not, you know, it has that all of those things haven't affected my experience. They haven't affected the gameplay and my opinion of it. I just wish that, you know, those are, you know, things that I wish the game kind of had, right? More powerful hardware. Because this game deserves it. Like I said, this game deserves everything because of what it is. And sometimes it sucks to see a game that is such a phenomenal experience get tainted or get you know, degraded on, you know, performance or graphical problems or whatever it is, right? Like with Jedi Survivor, we saw at its core, it's an amazing game, but it just has a lot of performance issues that needs to get patched and stuff like that. It's kind of the same with Zelda, but I wouldn't go as far as that, because, you know, there's not really any bugs in this game, and there's not really any bugs, I feel like, in Nintendo games. I feel like Nintendo is really good at launching a game in a pretty good state. It's just the limitations of the hardware that keep the performance in terms of 60 frames, 30 frames, right? Frame rates are going to drop. It's an open world game. But I've rambled enough. Those are my impressions of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I love this game so much. Like, this game came out at the perfect time where, personally, I'm trying to find this work-life balance. You know, I'm kind of stressed out. This game couldn't have came out at a better time, because it's just therapeutic, man. It helps me get away and enjoy a game, you know, away from the stress and the real life problems that, you know, games do a good job at. But Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is just so good, man. And if you haven't played it, go play it, man. It is so good. Get lost in the world. But that wraps up the video, guys. If you made it this far, dropping a like would help me out, and consider subscribing. I do plan on making more video game videos in the future. For now, I'm going to keep playing Zelda, and I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks so much for stopping by. Peace.